Well, hello again, and welcome to Rollyn's Reviews. I told you that I would come back on and, excuse me, share some more information with you, and welcome everyone who is in the chat. So, I hope that everyone is ready for work tomorrow. I am, and so if you look at the topic. Uh, This is what I referenced in today's earlier video that this really made me happy to see that we're all in this together, folks. And so we can't say, well, this the things that are being done are just happening to one group of people. So it's happening to all of us. So let's keep that in mind, and we'll go from there. So if you look at the title, and let me say hello to everyone who's here. Um, Let me see. How are you, Andrew? Cha Cha, of course, is here too. One Nation Underground. How are you? Jose, how are you? Um, so, guys, if you have social media, please go ahead and share this on your various forms of social media. And oh God, yeah, Cha Cha, yeah, Rachel Maddow, she's hard to stomach. Okay, so how you doing, Jose? So, Selma, California, perfect. So yeah, so again, I told you it makes my heart feel good that people are Americans are understanding that we are in this together. And so I don't know if you've had an opportunity to see the latest city council meeting, but Black and white Chicagoans, and not just city council meetings. You have Hispanic people who are saying, hey, I came here years ago. I came here legally. I didn't receive all of these freebies, all of these resources. So everyone's equally angry, and as they should be. And so if you look at the whole situation, I have an excellent video that I want to share with you. I mentioned earlier, Chicago is at a boiling point, and I've been telling you guys for several months. If you go back, look at the videos when I started this series. If you're familiar with Replacements Ltd, it's actually a company here in North Carolina. That's actually for people. I actually met the owner of Replacements. I think that's out of Burlington, North Carolina, and that's for people who have, dishware, glassware. Say you have an accident and you break it, and you can contact them, and if they have it, you can buy it from them. But we're talking about replacements, as in American people. Okay, so we have been witnessing a changing of the guard, if you will, and we know that this is all being done strategically. Also, remember, the Democrats are they want these migrants counted in the census. Okay, if you know about the government, you know how significant that is so far as seats in the Senate. All right. So, how are you? Christina's here. How are you? Kathy, I missed your last two lives. Went to Texas to pick up another rescue pup. Watch the videos I missed, but so happy to see you live again. Oh yeah, Kathy, always glad to have you back. Now, Kathy, if you're picking up pups, you need to pick up the kitties too. Now, are you into all types of rescue? That's wonderful. That's good work. How you doing, John? So yeah, I have a video to share with you. I told you folks, I'm not the only person on YouTube who's singing the same sad song. Americans are being replaced by the migrants, by this fake and phony asylum seeking fraud that's being perpetrated on the American people. And thank you so much, Emmy. So glad to have you here. And I'm so glad Americans are waking up. They're not standing for it. And anyone, any company, if you weren't here to catch the earlier video, check out the earlier video. We are Bud Lighting Tyson, and there's also some type of boycott that's going on with Kellogg's. So I got a something about the CEO made some statement about people eating cereal. So I don't know, but from my understanding, guess what? They're going to be Bud Lighted too. So they're going to learn. We have to hit them in the pocketbook, folks. Futures past. Hello from New York. What part of New York are you from, Future? I used to live in New York years ago, dear. So tell me what you think. The replacement theory is taking place. And don't just think, oh, it's just blacks that are being replaced. It's all Americans. If you don't believe me, check my video from last week in Iowa, Perry, Iowa. Okay? It's also happening in Alabama. So don't sit back and think this is not going to affect me. It will eventually. Just keep living. Oh, how you doing, the old bag? Always smash that like button. Exactly. One Nation Underground. When someone says both sides of the same coin, ask them how many Republicans are in power in Chicago. One Nation, there's a lot of voter fraud going on in Chicago. I have a video that I'm going to play with you for some Chicagoans, black and white, that are talking about all of the crooked schemes that are going on in Chicago. And so one of these gentlemen was saying, the Republicans better have people on the ground or this election is going to be stolen. Okay. Queens. Okay. Futures past. Perfect. Emmy, yes, Kellogg told us to eat cereal for supper. Yeah. So Bud Light treatment. Fine with me. So I have a video to share with you folks. Again, bringing in all of these illegal immigrants is by design. They have very specific purposes. And again, don't sit back and think this is not going to affect me. If you are an American, it's going to affect you. Okay? The Democrats don't do anything for Americans. They do for everyone else. All right, so let me get this video rolling. And I will be keeping up with your comments in the chat section. Okay, so listen to this. Again, I'm not the only person here on YouTube who's saying this, who's sharing this information with you. More and more Americans are waking up to what is being done to them in this country. Let's listen to what he has to say.
They're placing you. Better get ready for it. The white Anglo-Saxon Protestant is their enemy. That's the common enemy that they have. They've always said it. And that hodgepodge of weirdos have all come together to form a fist to take you out. And nothing's new under the sun, governments have done this before. When they can't control their population, whatever part of the population they don't like, they replace them. Hey, ask Adolf Hitler about it, right? Hmm. He didn't like the Jews, he just replaced them. Stalin didn't like the kulaks, he replaced them. Mao Zedong didn't like the landlords, he replaced them. See where I'm going with this now? And they always want to catch you when you're asleep because you always believe because you're such good people.
Hey, welcome back. It's your man Wise, and today I have a great video to share with you guys. The American people are finally starting to wake up. We're starting to see more unity than I've seen in a very long time. I probably have to go back to the 9/11 time frame to see this type of unity happening all across the country. We are all waking up and starting to understand that we are in this together, and it doesn't matter where you live at, what your race is, East Coast, West Coast, Middle America, we are all dealing with the same things. Economic warfare is among us. It is happening right now. It's real. I know a lot of folks, they try to tell you this. They try to explain to you what could happen, what would happen if these people got into office. And now we're seeing it happen right before our eyes. Before we get into the video, like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Drop me a comment down below. I appreciate all the love and support. And without further ado, let's go.
Hey, Steve, we're at one of the over 50 locations where they're holding illegals in Chicago. This is the, they have over 3,000 people in this warehouse. This is the location where they announced last week that they had a measles outbreak. So we're kind of holding our breath as we're standing here. Last I heard there's 13, but it's probably over 100 now, who knows. But this is what's happening. I want to bring the guys that we...
Keep in mind, folks, we've been talking about that. They've been trying to keep that under wraps. They're not giving us the true numbers about all of these unvaccinated people and the sicknesses and the illnesses that they're spreading. And remember, they're sitting in public schools with American children. Okay? So just keep listening.
Spoke to the last couple of days. We're doing a little tour through the city to make stops along the way to wake up the American people. We're going to talk a little bit about illegals. We're going to talk about the invasion, what's going on there. We're going to talk about elections too. I just want to kind of go around here. And David, you said something powerful when we first got here about the Tyson Foods and what's going on here.
Yes, the economic war that's on the American people. If we look at what's going on, you have Tyson that fire 1,200 American people to hire 42,000 illegal immigrants. We're in an economic war in today's time. Right now, we look around, this is everyone. Big business has this going on. We have to look at the full system, and that's why I keep saying the system. We look at every day, it is something going on. The injustice against the American people, the economic war against the American people. That's the problem.
I'm glad to see this brother say that. And I am glad that people are starting to wake up. This is no longer about race. See, the left, mainstream liberal media, they would like to isolate us into our different categories, our different groups, and say, hey, it's about your race. You're black, they don't like you. You're white, you're racist. You're Indian, you just got here. If you are Asian, it's too many, it's not a lot of y'all. That's how if you're in a part of the alphabet community, the Christians, they don't love you. If you are, a Christian, you are intolerant of everybody, so forth and so on. They want us in these isolated groups, hating and bickering amongst each other. And while we are hating and bickering amongst each other, they are moving things behind the scenes, behind our backs. And they're plotting against this great nation. See, they use things to distract us from what's actually going on.
Right.
They're playing 3-card Monty. That's what they're doing. They're playing 3-card Monty. You're watching the little cups that's moving, not realizing that the P, it's already been removed.
Yep.
They're distracting us. And I'm glad to see that people are starting to wake up.
Yep.
Because that's what's happening right now.
Yep.
And it's time for us to unify. And it's time for us to come together as working class, middle class people, come together and say no more.
Thank you, David. Bob?
No, I just wanted to comment on the Democratic Party is double talking. Chucky Schumer calls for the elections, and now they mad because Trump says something about the Jews. So I just tired of the double talking of the Democratic Party.
Sir?
Well, it is unfair to the American people. I think the American people should get the resources, and they don't need the resources. Families been here many years ago, don't have the resources, and homeless people need help. So let's, come together and pull this together, Republican, all the way, Trump 2024.
And we've got, everywhere you go, Steve, you've got illegals, the Venezuelans out there using kids as pawns. Mark, I wanted you to mention something on that. We were walking around, what you see throughout the streets.
Well, a lot of the so-called migrants are panhandling with children, which is against the state law. It's child endangerment. And you really can't use a child as a prop to panhandle. And they're doing it at probably a couple thousand locations every day in Chicago. It's outrageous, and children should not be used as props.
I would agree with that 100%. But you know what that sounds like? It sounds like what you see when you travel over to Europe. It sounds like what you see when you travel to different nations over in Asia. I've been and I've traveled a multitude of places while I was in the military. I've had a chance to, go to different places in Europe, so forth and so on. And you would see kids selling little trinkets, selling little items, begging for money. You would see mom or dad stashed away, and they were using their children to panhandle and to ask for money. And they would sell these little trinkets. I can't remember exactly which country I was in. I can't remember, and I don't want to call and disrespect the country, but they would have like these little trinkets that wasn't worth anything, and they would say, "Money, give me money." And we knew, because we already got the briefing, that hey, you say no and you keep it moving. But if you would always have one idiot on the boat that obviously was not paying attention. And when I say boat, I'm talking about the ship. If you're in the Navy, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Typically, we say the boat, but whatever. I digress. You would always have one idiot that missed the briefing, and that little kid would walk up to him and hand them this little trinket. And then next thing you know, they're like, "Hey, money, money." And you better give them some money, or you could potentially be in trouble, because that kid would say that you stole something from them or something along those lines, or you sold this to him and now you don't want to give them the money. It was a mess. So we were told, you ignore them, don't say anything to them, don't give them anything, and just keep it moving. But again, you'd always have that one person. There's always that one. If you guys that served in the military, you know just about every rule that exists is because it was one person that did something wrong. It was one person, and now we got a rule around it. Let me keep going.
And Terry, now getting into elections, so while this is happening, to all the War Room posse out there, while this is happening, they're stealing the elections, and you've got guys, the Republican Party, to me, that's just as bad, Terry.
Yeah, in the western suburbs, you know, we're fighting the establishment, and it looks like many of the Trump MAGA candidates did not win their primaries yesterday. They're not getting support from the Republican Party here in the state of Illinois. One other thing I want to mention is about the handguns. This morning, a judge announced in Chicago that she wants to allow illegals to carry guns. It was just announced a few hours ago, so we need to look into that as well.
Hang on 1 second. Go ahead, Steve.
Yeah, I want to ask David. Go back and ask David. Does he see the economic war? We know Tyson's and these plants around the country, but has he seen the economic war of corporate America and the elites against working class minorities in the city of Chicago itself?
Yep.
Yeah, David, he wants to come back to you and ask you the economic war we see with Tyson's Foods, but do you see that in corporate America, across America, not just with them?
Yes, I see that happening across all businesses, because American people are demanding a livable wage, and our cost of living has risen. We deserve a livable wage coming from each corporation, but corporations don't want to pay the American people righteously.
Nope.
So they want to bring in and usher in illegal immigrants to replace American people on these job sites. You can get cheap labor out of them. They will work for pretty much anything coming from the countries that they come from. We as American people, we are overtaxed. We sit here and we demand a livable wage. Our senators, our congressmen, they're getting raises. Why the American people can't get a raise to a corporation? I just believe it is a systemic thing that is going on. Whether it's Democrat, Republican, it is big business that is pushing this through. That's what I believe.
Steve, I want to make sure we have time to talk about what Lori saw yesterday at the polling, but go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead. No, go ahead.
Yeah, so while all this is happening, Pastor Lori, you were out at the polling places yesterday for the Heritage Foundation. Talk to us a little bit about what you thought.
Listen to this.
What we did was we went out with a team. We went to the north side, the west side, south side, stopped in different polling places. And there were so many violations. We witnessed at 6 o'clock in the morning that it's a Democratic judge that's acting as a Republican judge just for the day. We also witnessed ballots not being out accessible to Republicans. And when we questioned about it, they said, well, you have to ask for it. There were so many other things, like the machines were breaking down, printers were bad. They was calling technicians in the middle of the day to fix the machines. The ballots we got a lady that was trying to put her ballot through. They told her that the machine was broke, and they would put the ballot through later, and they put it in a box. But after they saw us there asking questions, they made the machine work. So the ground game is going to be important.
Yep.
If there's going to be a fair election, so I understand personally now what happened in Arizona, because I've seen it right here in Chicago. But if the Republicans want to win this election, it's going to have to be the ground game. We have to have people in these places to hold them accountable, because if we don't, another election will be stolen in 2024, and that's what the Democrats are doing, illegal things at the polls to steal, kill votes, or do whatever they have to do to win.
That's right.
It's all tied together, Steve. They're bringing in the illegals. They're stealing the elections. It's all tied together.
Yep.
Hang on, Ben, before I let you go, I want to go back to David one more time. He used the term replacement theory. Ask David, I thought that was a white nationalist, phrase about that, but he's saying it's actually happening against the black community in Chicago.
Well, actually, and the first person who said that was actually Bob Israel. We're talking about that. So Steve just asked, you guys use the term replacement. You guys feel like you're being replaced. The mainstream media says that's a white nationalist term. Is that a white nationalist term, or is that happening to everybody?
I believe that's happening to every American citizen.
Yep.
Black, white, don't matter what nationality that you are.
That's
if
right.
you are here, you are being replaced by cheap labor. That is what's happening.
I just wanted to ask these Chicago's full of rhinos. Please stop funding these Chicago rhinos.
I'll say this.
That part.
The left will call everything racist because they know it's a dog whistle for a certain sect of people. They know it's a dog whistle, but they're 100% right. Y'all see what's happening in the communities. These illegal migrants or immigrants have come in and they moved them into the black community and they're taking their resources. They're being replaced. Now you look at what's happening in small town America, out in Iowa, out and down in Alabama. They're bringing these illegal immigrants in, firing American workers.
Yep.
They're being replaced. They're out in California, out in Cali, out in New York. All these illegal immigrants are there now. They're adding seats, potentially.
Yep.
Potentially could add seats to the House of Representatives. They were saying somewhere along the lines of 8 additional seats could be had
That's it.
or added, which means that American votes will be replaced. This situation that's happening is worse than what most people thought.
That's
And
right.
it's unfortunate that you have a lot of people that's been voting blue no matter who, and they don't know why. We are about to see a situation, potentially, where the 3/5 of a human could rear its ugly head again. Because with the amount of illegal immigrants being pushed into these states that are invading our nation, you are going to have Republicans stand up and say, we can't count all of these people as people that live in y'all states. Y'all just flooded y'all state with a bunch of new people. We can't count for them. See, a lot of y'all, when y'all would hear the term, oh, they once looked at us as 3/5 of a human, y'all don't really understand why that was the case. So let me give y'all a quick history lesson as to why black people were once considered 3/5 of a human. It was a compromise that happened in Congress. So what we do know is from Delaware all the way down to Florida, all the way out to Texas, those are what you would call the slave states. There was a population of people, black people, slaves, enslaved people in that area that had no say. But as per the Census Bureau, they would be counted as people. And if y'all know anything, the House of Representatives are based off of the Census Bureau. The more people that you have in your state,
Yep.
the more seats you get in the House. So the people up north, the folks that would be considered either the Union or Republicans, and at that time it really wasn't Republicans because Republican wasn't a party during that time frame. But the compromise that happened was we won't count these people as full people. We will count them as 3/5. So therefore,
Right.
it evens out the playing field when it comes to the amount of seats in the House that are given to each state.
Right.
Now let's fast forward to 2024. The next Census Bureau will happen in a couple of years. We just had a census, and another one will happen in a few years. When they go around and count, the census count doesn't account for, well, they actually do account, but it doesn't matter if the person is a illegal immigrant or an actual citizen or just a legal resident. That doesn't matter. They just count the bodies. They just count the people. That's it. So when they can go into a state like California that's taking in, who knows, an additional 2 to 3 million people, and then you look at what happened up in New York, they've taken on, who knows, maybe an additional 2 to 3 million people as well. All of those people get counted. And then once
Right.
they do the full census, they'll say, okay, hey, there was an influx in population in this state, and this state. Okay. Based on that population, they have a formula that they break down that says, okay, based on the amount of people, that means this amount of representation is needed. So where a lot of you guys are thinking that, oh, the illegal immigrants are going to get a chance to vote, although they would like to fast forward them an opportunity to citizenship so they could vote.
Yep.
The Democrats are playing a long game.
Yep.
What they are doing is that, hey, if they can flood these places with illegals, it boosts their population numbers up. They can get additional seats in places that normally vote Democrat. So therefore, in the House, they could potentially have an overrepresentation of Democrats in the House because in those states, New York, Massachusetts, California, and other blue states, when they get additional seats because they're taking all of these new people, they get extra seats, and which also gives them the ability to have more power in Congress. So that's what this is about. Yep. So it would not surprise me one bit if, for whatever reason, Donald Trump does not win and he does not go through and we can't go through and have a mass deportation. When the next Census Bureau comes around and it states that these states are going to get additional seats in the House, there is going to be real conversation on the House floor as to how to count these people. And you will have the left saying the Republicans are racist because they don't want to count all of these illegal people that have invaded and flooded these states as full humans. Yep. Not saying that they're not real people, but they don't want to count them as people that count as per the Census Bureau, so they don't just flood the House with all of these additional seats. That's what it's about. Yep. If that happens in the House, at that point, the Democrats will probably have control of the House in perpetuity. That's what would happen. So I hope you guys.
So again, we've been talking about this. If you're, I think I see some new people here on the channel, right? MC 007 gerrymandering. You got it. Gerrymandering 101. So. Yeah, One Nation Underground, you weren't here. I said it earlier. It's evil and satanic. Oh, bad. So if you enjoy this content, share this with your family. Share this with your friends. I told you. Excuse me. If you look at some of the information that we cover here, it's so unfortunate. If you type in this subject matter, it'll say that it's false. It will say that it's misleading. So they don't want the truth out, folks. Yeah, this is very important. Oh, bag. If we don't let our loved ones know, now you guys know what's going on. They're going to look up and they're going to say, well, hey, what's going on here? They're going to be clueless. Bend over, we will all lose. You got that right. And that's what they want. Lord, he's definitely a gatekeeper. Racist Democrat. Oh, yeah, they all are. So Andrew said Eric Adams was going to the border, but he canceled because it was too dangerous. Yeah, it's a lot of stuff going on down there at that border, folks. But I wanted to share that video with you because I tell you all the time, I'm not the only person here on YouTube who knows what's really going on. There are a lot of people on YouTube that know what's going on. And it's so sad we get censored. Again, if you weren't here in the earlier live, the information I shared with you about Tyson, if you type in Tyson, laying off American workers and hiring migrants, it says it's false and it's misleading. Tyson is in full damage control mode. So you know by now, if you're on this channel, most of you already know, we can't listen to the mainstream media. We cannot. That information that they share with you is not true. How you doing, Charles? I will share this video. Somebody needs to stop the Democrats. Thank you so much. Yeah, because I can't do it by myself, guys. I'm only one person. But you guys come here. You know I give you the truth. Everything I tell you, you can research for yourself. Christine, praying for God's intervention in America, that we see their goodness. Oh, yeah. Of the Lord in the land of the living. Yes, Christine, we definitely need God involved. Ruby, this is a fantastic civics lesson. We have such a need for this in our school systems. They want to focus on critical race theory or some other nonsense, right, Ruby? This is what they better be listening to, okay? Because this is very serious. Most people think, oh, this doesn't affect me. It will. Just keep living. Ben, don't do what the TV tells you. You better not, right, Ben? K-Dog. It's sad to see this happening to American citizens, and they are not aware. K-Dog, because they're all on their phones. They're all on social media. They are clueless. They don't have a clue what's going on here. And it's really sad. Roger, pray like your lives depend on it, and it does. And vote in person. Do not trust your ballot to a mailbox or a drop box. That's actually a good info to share, Roger. Futures Past, glad I found this channel. Futures Past, I'm glad that you are here. We have got to get the word out. We are awake. Too many other Americans are still sleeping. And they're not going to know what's happening until say, hey, they're working on their job. And then they go, you heard, go look at the video I did last Sunday. The people went in the break room. They had no clue they were going to be laid off. And that's a very small town. So what are they going to do? And again, those are Americans. So Tyson's telling these lies. Oh, we couldn't find Americans to work these jobs. You had Americans to work those jobs. You fired them, remember? Get out of here. Oh, bad. Yeah, they're zombies. Exactly. One Nation Underground. Reviews. Do you follow Anthony Brian Logan? Yes, I do. He has an excellent channel. Yes, I do. I love his videos. Yes. Josephine. Okay. John Nixon. Trump all the way. Okay. So, yeah, guys. This next election, the Republicans better have people on the ground, especially in these large liberal utopias. You know there's some crooked stuff going on there. And so, how you doing, Peter? Peter, I missed you earlier. You weren't in the earlier live. So, you know what I'm saying? Oops, there we go. We have to be vigilant, and we have to stay on top of this. Let's see. All of you who are in here, did everyone hit that little thumb? The like button is that little thumb. And yeah, Peter, you can go back and catch it. I played a video from this guy. I just found his channel the other day. And he's saying a lot of the same things that we say on this channel. So we have to watch out. We said this was bringing in all of these illegal immigrants. This was planned. And Lloyd, watching from Palm Beach, Florida, Trump country, okay? Peter, are you going to travel spring break to a Democrat residency? Peter, excuse me, I am trying to travel. I used to live in New York. However, I've never been to Chicago. So I am planning on traveling to a sanctuary city, because I want to see it firsthand. I have relatives who still live in New York. I have friends that live in Chicago. Excuse me. So I am interested in seeing it firsthand. So that is the plan. Peter, stay tuned. Fairly, exactly. Done by design. Josephine, oh yes, you're welcome, dear. And so again, don't say, oh, I'm black, it's not going to affect me. Oh, I'm white, it's not going to affect me. Democrats don't give a care If you are an American, they're not going to do anything for you. It doesn't matter the color of your skin. Okay, so get out of skin color. Okay? One nation underground. When's the last time a capitalist floated on a raft made of garbage to escape capitalism to live in a socialist utopia? Oh my God, I love that. One nation underground gets it. Yeah. So they're trying to destroy this country. Obviously, the working class and the middle class, they're going to be wiped out. I mean, they're taking the jobs, giving them away. Stay out of Chicago if you value your life. I know, Steve, I want to go to Chicago, but it's so dangerous. D. James, I live in Detroit and want to get out of Dodge. Okay. Steve, let's not ever forget what the Democratic Party has done to us. Exactly. What they've done to America in general. They are, I've told you, if you're here for the first time, I'll say it again because I do have some new people here. If Joe Biden wins this election, you can kiss this country goodbye. It is over. Okay? It's over. Yep, Democrats work that color angle to confuse people. It's a red-blue issue. Yeah, of course, their favorite word is racism. Everyone's racist. Don't fall for it, okay? The old bag. Don't get excited until you see the quality of their work. Exactly. Peter, I've been told my capital city of Indianapolis is sneakily getting worse. Peter, I'm glad you said that. It's actually worse than we really know. We're not seeing the true crime statistics. We're not seeing the true measles outbreak statistics as well as other communicable diseases. Okay. We're just seeing a snippet. They will not allow the truth to be exposed because they know there will be even more outcry. Okay. So keep that in mind. The old bag. We fight against demons and principalities, not each other. Old bag. Americans are finally waking up and understanding that. And that's when we can turn on them and say, okay, we know what you're doing. We're not looking at this guy over here behind the curtain. We're looking at what you're doing. We're together. Exactly. Okay, where are we here? Old bag. I didn't know who hid you, but I reversed. Okay, thank you so much, Andrew. For reversing that. Yeah, YouTube, we are censored. So anytime people are on here telling the truth, censorship is real. It's real. So just remember, folks, the replacement theory, don't look at it as being against blacks or whites. It's against all of us, all Americans. Chicago has a lot of rhinos who are Republican in name only. They have the same mindset as the Democrats, okay? So keep that in mind. Old bag, yeah, comments disappear. Yeah, and again, a lot of the things that we discuss here on the channel, when you Google it, there's an addendum saying, oh, this is misleading. This is false. And then they'll have fact check. And then they'll have some liberal leaning website for you to go to with the so-called truth. Don't fall for that, folks. Yeah. So that's all I wanted to share with you guys. One nation. We are censored. Tell you everything you need to know. Right. So I don't know. They censor you in some of the videos. They don't push because they don't like what's being said. So, Ben Dover, good to see the channel grow. Yes, it's really growing, you guys. The more you hit that like button, the more you share this video on your social media pages, the more that it triggers the YouTube logarithm. Okay. Lloyd, you're right. You know where Google's located. They're liberal too. Exactly. I can't tell you doing, Risa. I can't tell you guys how many times I've typed something in and I know the truth and then it'll say that's misleading. It'll have fact check, and then it takes you to CNN or someplace. Get out of here. Who? No one believes that crap from CNN or MSNBC. Today, it was Associated Press and USA Today. When I typed in what's going on with Tyson, oh, this is untrue and misleading. Tyson didn't. I'm like, get out of here. Get the heck out of here. Okay. Agent Orange, 2 live streams in one day. Good deal. Yes, Agent Orange. Layla, how are you, dear? Lloyd, yeah. So if you didn't catch my earlier live stream, check it out, folks. You need to know. We need to hit these American companies in their pocketbook and let them know we are not standing for this any longer. You've walked over us for the last time. Disclaimers at the bottom of everyone's video. Yes, old bag. Yes, exactly. And I'm saying you're giving the truth, and then they come with this, paragraph saying it's misleading or it's not true, and then they have a paragraph of information that's totally untrue. I can't. How you doing, end of the bench? Who is excuse me. End of the bench. I'm not sure who they is, baby. Andrew, McDonald's, Chick-fil-A, Tyson. Also, Andrew, they said that we're also boycotting Kellogg. Okay. Okay. So that's all I wanted to share with you guys. I hope everyone, hope this was informative. I will share as much as I can with you. If you see one of my videos disappear, I didn't take it down. It could be banned. It could, I don't know. Kathy, I didn't even get a notification of your earlier live stream. Kathy, that happens too with us YouTubers who are sharing truthful information. Yeah, that happens. So sometimes, guys, you may have to go type my channel name in and see if I dropped another video. They unsubscribe people from your channel. They're doing all kinds of stuff. Excuse me. Roger, thank you, dear. The old bag. Hey, another way to see people's live chats is to change from top chat to live chat. Right, make sure it's on live chat. Good point. Underground, thank you for all you do. Oh, I'm going to keep it up. The old bag. Your YouTube HQ is full of critters. It is old bag. I get notifications late. Okay, Steve. Kathy. Oh, wow. I'm so sorry to hear that. Yeah. It's hard against when you're sharing truthful information that they don't want out. They will do things to sort of hamper your efforts. One Nation says free Candace Owens. Yeah, I heard what just happened to her too. So yeah. Thank you so much, old bag. I'm going to let you all go so that you can prepare for respect you too, Lloyd, so that you can prepare for your work week tomorrow. I'll be back, of course, again next Sunday. And I just hope that you all stay vigilant and just continue to, search for the truth. Stay away from those liberal-leaning, websites, media outlets. Future's past. Thank you. All of you take care. I will be back next Sunday at the same time. And I enjoyed this. I really did. And when I end this live, I'll answer some of your questions here in the live chat. Okay? Thank you so much. I enjoyed all of you. And I'll see you again next Sunday. Thank you so much, TA. I'm going to keep sharing the truth. I don't care how much they try to stop me. I love you all. Thank you so much. Christine, thank you so much. Christine, TA, the L Boogie, Barnes Homestead, all of you, Toy Mafia, share this on your social media pages. Help me to get the word out. Thank you so much. You have a wonderful week. I'm going to answer your comments in the comment section, folks. And I'll see you next Sunday, same time, here on the Rollers Reviews YouTube channel. Thank you so much.